We've all heard it so many times. Good communication is key in every relationship. Everyone knows that, duh.
The real question is this.
How do we even know if we're communicating good enough? Especially in long distance relationships. I mean, how good does it have to be in order to be classified as good communication? This is where the intimacy scale comes in. Psychologists have identified 5 levels of emotional intimacy that a person might experience as they get to know someone. So, what does this mean for you and your relationship? Basically, the higher on the scale, the more chances your relationship stands. The scale starts from level 1 to 5, with 5 is the most intimate bond you can get. So, what's in each level? At level 1, it's pretty much small, safe talk. This is often the talk we have with an acquaintance or strangers. For example, like, how's the weather? What's the latest trending movie? Or what's the best spot to hang out in town? In a relationship, it's the kind of talk that revolved around responsibility and the kids. Like, we're out of cereal. I have to go to work at 5. Basically, it's the news that is surrounding us. These kinds of info are pure facts that have nothing to do with emotions, belief, or opinions, thus are safe to talk about. However, they do not offer any real connection. Needless to say, if your relationship is only revolving at this level, you're pretty much doomed if you don't upgrade. Facts are definitely needed, but a strong relationship needs to be communicated on a higher level. And that leads us to level 2, others' opinion and belief. This is when we start sharing our beliefs, but is in form of other people's belief. What I mean by this is that we share our views in an indirect way. Examples of this include, my mom said that blah blah blah, or maybe Ben just came out yesterday, or many people say that. We usually use this kind of talk to test out the water, to see how the person reacts to it before we open up more. If most of your talk spin around other people and their events, it could lead to dissatisfaction and loneliness within the relationship in the long run, which eventually leads to miscommunication and lots of misunderstanding. In order to build long-lasting connections, we have to share more about ourselves, which is the next level we have here. Level 3, sharing your opinion. This is an upgrade from level 2. This is when you say, I think that, I like this, I like that. While it's definitely more intimate compared to the last 2 levels, your communication could still need some work. Level 4, feelings and personal experience. This is when the real connection starts. At this level, we talk about our dreams and goals, our joy, worry, and failure in life. In a relationship, this could play as, I'm feeling really sad because at work, blah blah blah. It's also important to note that sharing emotion does not equivalent to emotional dumping. We will cover this topic in another video, but anyway, at level 4, it requires a certain amount of emotional maturity from both partners to share their feelings freely and listen to the other person with no judgment. With that being said, let's move on to our last level. Level 5, needs, emotions, and desire. Our darkest side and nature usually show up at the state. We would express our sexual quirks and what we need from our partners in order to be satisfied. We also discuss our past traumas and what do we need to feel safe. Basically, we'll be talking about who we are at the core. And it's not always the nicest sight to see. Common expression of this begin with, I need you to. Level 5 is hard to achieve as we often think our partner should be able to meet our needs without us having to express them. Other times, we could undermine our needs, thinking that we're being too greedy if the partner can't meet them. Anyway, to sum up, the whole intimacy scale means if you could build up your relationship and communication skill to level 4 and 5, long distance would be easier for both you and your partner. If you could speak your mind and feelings out without accusing anyone of anything, there wouldn't be so much emotional turmoil anymore. I know it's definitely easier said than done, but knowing is the first step to make it work. I'm Jane Jung, and this is the end of the video. I make content on psychology. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe button for more content like this. That's it for today. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye, and see you on my next video. Stay tuned, my little darlings.